You know, I love seeing new organizations form. Neil Foster, the person who confronted Rockefeller at his dinner table. He's a friend of Alan Keenan, who's also online with us from We Are Change Ireland. And he is on with us. He is the co-editor of the Sovereign Independent newspaper. And in a few minutes, I want to play a clip of last year, Luke Rudkowski, Stewart, and others of We Are Change going to the Capitol and going up to Senator Jay Rockefeller and bringing up their family funding Hitler, on record, the whole eugenics movement. And Jay Rockefeller, Senator Rockefeller, says, "You got a lot of cojones, boy." And he just looks at him. I mean, these are gangsters. And they're globalists. They've always, I mean, what, 4 years ago? In fact, later, pull me the David Rockefeller quote. Just say David Rockefeller quote admitting global government takeover. And he says, people have accused me of this, and I say guilty as charged. I can even give you the page number. It's 400 and something in his autobiography that he wrote 4 years ago, or 5 years ago now. But let's go ahead and get them both up on the line together. Neil Foster from Dublin, Ireland, and, of course, Alan Keenan of We Are Change Ireland. We'll put both their websites up on screen before they leave us. And, of course, both you guys work together. Neil Foster, good to have you here with us.
Thanks for having me.
So tell us where you, in and around the Trilateral Commission meeting, were able to go find David Rockefeller and, you know, let him know that you weren't his slave.
Well, myself and actually the editor of the Sovereign Independent, Mr. Dave Darby, decided we'd just try and get into the hotel, and we just walked straight in the front door, past the security, and took a seat in the lobby. Maybe half an hour later, after having a cup of coffee and asking a few questions of the waiter, David Rockefeller walked right past us and sat at the table right behind us. So we just decided we had to confront him when his security guard walked off. We just took a chance.
Well, you're doing a great job. I've read your newspaper. I mean, it's an actual physical newspaper and online. Why don't you give us the website for the Sovereign Independent?
It's www.sovereignindependent.ie.
.ie for Ireland.
Ireland.
Now, the video is short. It looks like it's shot on a cell phone camera. We can clearly...
Yeah, well, Dave was very conscious of not having the camera confiscated, so he kind of held it down about waist level and just took
Sure, so describe the full exchange and what happened and what he did when you came and basically stood beside him.
Well, I tried to put the paper on the table in front of him, but I was very conscious of not touching him or disturbing any of the glasses and stuff on the table, because I didn't want to be, charged with assaulting him or damaging property or anything. And Dave, who's the guy with the English accent, was the guy you can hear most on the video. We just said to him, we don't want your New World Order, and we're not your slaves. And we just walked off and left him to it. But he looked stunned. He looked absolutely stunned, and I'm sure he was, for a moment, very scared.
Well, yeah, everywhere he goes now. I mean, we get these reports every few weeks, and videos are posted every month or so of, he's in a walk in the park with his bodyguard. We're not your slaves. We're not your property. We don't want your world government. Everywhere he goes, he's being confronted. And I want to read the quote here. In David Rockefeller's book, Memoirs, he admits he is part of a secret cabal working to destroy the United States and create a new world order. Here's a direct quote from the book, page 405 from the paperback. Some believe we, the Rockefeller family, are part of a secret cabal working against the best interests of the United States, characterizing my family and me as internationalist and of conspiring with others around the world to build a more integrated global political and economic structure. One world, if you will. If that's the charge, I stand guilty, and I am proud of it. Here's another quote from the Trilateral Commission, 1991, Evian, France. We are grateful to the Washington Post, the New York Times, Time Magazine, and other great publications whose directors have attended our meetings and respected their promise of discretion for almost 40 years. It would have been impossible for us to develop our plan for the world if we would have been subject to the bright lights of publicity during those years. But the work is now much more sophisticated and prepared to march towards a world government. The supranational sovereignty of an intellectual elite and world bankers is surely preferable to the national auto-determination practice in past centuries.
And we actually have that quote in the newspaper, and I believe Bill Clinton was at that meeting.
Absolutely. And again, he's given countless speeches along these lines. I want to play the video of We Are Change screaming at him as he entered the hotel to meet with your president. Here's that video.
Rockefeller, we know what you're doing. We know what you're doing to the world. Rockefeller, your new world order will never come in. You're running out of time. Scumbag, you've rushed it. You screwed up. You're not going to stop the Irish, Rockefeller, you scumbag. We are the Irish. We know what you're up to, Rockefeller. You're all going to come tumbling down.
All right. Now, let's go back to a year ago. We Are Change confronting Jay Rockefeller. This is the senator who says we'd be better off never inventing the internet, trying to pass legislation to control it and to restrict it. I mean, this guy is pure New World Order. We ready with that clip? Okay, here it is.
Senator Rockefeller?
Yes.
I'd like to know if you're aware that we, the American people, are aware of the agenda of the Council on Foreign Relations and the Bilderberg Group. And if you could comment on that, please, because very concerning to a lot of us.
You know, I have 37 people lined up right outside Senator Schumer's office, all of them wanting to answer precisely that question.
Well, could you just take a brief moment and let us...
No, because we're not talking. We're talking about something a little bit more.
Well, something that's so important, it sort of transcends everything else that we're talking about, sir. Could you comment on that, please?
No.
I'd like to know about the Bilderberg Group.
Get yourself some press credentials.
I'd like to know about the Bilderberg Group, sir.
Well, that's not part of our discussion.
When can we discuss that with you, sir?
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay, and this is for the senator. This is the scientific proof of the nanothermite that's been found in samples of the World Trade Center dust by scientists from around the world. Basically, conclusive proof that there's an Article 3, Section 3 treasonous cover-up going on about 9/11, sir. So
We'd love to get your opinion on that, too,
wait,
sir.
what did you say?
Excuse me, folks. Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Two families, the Rockefellers and the Osborns.
And then it cuts to a clip about their family, and then it goes into Luke Rudkowski really hitting him hard. Let's continue rolling this.
Are particularly significant. John D. Rockefeller Sr. contributed a large amount of money to build the Cold Spring Harbor Laboratory in the early 1900s, which housed the Eugenics Records Office from 1910 to 1944. Rockefeller influence also spread overseas to Germany, where the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute for Psychiatry and the Kaiser Wilhelm Institute for Eugenics, Anthropology, and Human Heredity resided. Much of the money used to run these facilities came directly from Rockefeller. These institutes became centers for Nazi eugenics programs during the reign of Adolf Hitler.
Your family starting the modern eugenics movement?
Let's call him Miss Christian.
Started eugenics. Hitler looked up to the eugenics that your family has started.
Okay, sir.
I think it's time for me to really start moving quickly.
Yeah.
You could just address some of these things. If we're wrong, sir, please just tell us.
No, go find somebody else to talk to.
But your family did start the modern eugenics movement that Hitler is looking up to. And you don't want to talk about the Bilderberg Group? Well, what about the Bilderberg?
Certainly do.
You don't want to talk about them? They want to implement eugenics as well.
The truth is coming out, and there's a lot of us that are aware of it.
I'm sure you know some members, sir, if you're not a member yourself.
President Obama's Director of National Intelligence, Admiral Blair, who I greatly respect, have labeled cybersecurity perpetrated through the internet as the #1 national hazard of attack on the homeland in West Virginia, America, anywhere else. So, I mean, it really almost makes you ask the question, would it have been better if we never invented the internet?
There you go.